imagining Danny Trejo being a urologist and like doing somebody's prostate exam. And I think that just, I'll never, that's an image that's now seared into my brain.
Welcome back to the Middle of Culture. I am one of your hosts, Eden.
And I am one of your other hosts, Peter.
My face is looking extremely egg-like today for whatever reason in the Zoom call, dear listeners. I have the blurred background on, and for some reason that makes my face look extra eggy. I had to turn it off.
Well,
How you doing, Peter?
I was going to say it aggressively blurs. So like
It does.
the webcam that I'm using, it's an Insta360 something, and it applies a real subtle background blur effect so that what they're trying to mimic is, say, like an actual camera lens with a focal point.
I was going to
So
say
that
like
you
actual
get,
focal points.
right. So you get a little bit of that bokeh effect behind me that I get
It works.
like if I was facing the other direction and I was recording with my Sony ZV-E10 Mark II with its Sigma 1850 lens on, that gives me, because it's an actual glass, zoom lens, that gives me the same sort of bokeh effect, but it's a little like this. You can, every once in a while, you can see the little fuzziness around my head where it's doing the digital effect, but like when Zoom does it aggressively.
It's true. I was holding up a glass earlier, and it was trying to decide which part of the glass to not obscure, and so it just looked like nonsense. It's Zoom, am I right?
Zoom, you are right. But no, you asked how I was doing. I am doing. It's been a good couple of weeks. It's been a stressful couple of weeks. On the one hand, Alex, my oldest son, is home from his mission. He came home a week ago today. That was super exciting. It was a ton of fun to see him again. And it's been fascinating seeing how he's changed. In some ways, he has grown a lot. In other ways, he kind of seems like he's still the same kid. He's had a couple things this week, and bless his heart, I don't think he's been on time for a single one of those. And that's just the way Alex is. But no, it's been good. And so we've had some time with him. We have the wedding coming up this Saturday. We head down tomorrow night. We've all got a handful of rooms in a hotel. And then we'll go up to the Spruces campground up Big Cottonwood Canyon. That's where the ceremony is. There's a marathon coming out of Big Cottonwood Canyon that morning. So,
oh, Lord.
So we're telling some people, hey, you may want to go the Parley's Canyon, Park City route and come around the backside. Hayden has been in communication with the marathon people, and they're saying that really it should be pretty much cleared out by like 9:00, but hard to know for sure. So it's going to be an adventurous couple days. We got to go up, do that, and then we've got to hightail it back up to Pocatello for the reception up here that night. And then Alex speaks on Sunday, so we'll have people all here for that. And then I go back to work on Monday. And there's a little part of me that actually thinks I might be looking forward to going back to work.
See, I was like, you're not taking Monday off? I would be taking Monday off.
Well, I took last Thursday and Friday off, so I took like a week and 2 days off, and I don't know. That's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Especially in your profession, because like then other people have to like fill in the gaps while you're not available, all these sorts of things. It makes sense. You don't have a bullshit job like I do, so it's a little harder for you to take time off. Have you ever read that David Graeber book, Bullshit Jobs? It's pretty good.
No, I have not.
It's a really, really good critique of the modern economy and the way that we create busy jobs, and that they are often some of the better paid, better compensated, like more desirable jobs, but that fundamentally there's not a whole lot of productive worth to what they're like, adding to society, adding to the world. And And, when I'm feeling generous towards my job, I call it an email job. And when I'm feeling ungenerous, that's when I call it a bullshit job.
There you go. There you go.
Sometimes you feel like you do good work. Sometimes a
Yeah.
faculty member reaches out and says, "Oh, I want to give my students your training course because I've looked for other things and nothing quite matches up to it. Nothing's as good." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Kelly. That makes me feel so good about my job." But then
Right?
there are other days where you're like, "No, this is all pointless. What are we doing? What are any of us doing here?"
Uh, I think we can all ask that sometimes.
Ain't that the truth? Anyway, what you been up to? Anything fun? I mean, you've been busy, so I can't imagine you've had a
Yes.
lot of time to check stuff out. What you
No,
been looking at?
no. Reading, I've just been rereading, or not rereading. I have started again reading Tiny Experiments by Anne-Laure Lecompf. I'm liking that book. It resonates with me and where I'm at right now in my life, and in a lot of ways resonates with this whole experiment that I have with Imperfect Practice site and channel and everything. And so it's it's encouraging to read that because it kind of makes me feel like, oh, I'm not just wasting my time. Sometimes I feel like these other things that I'm doing that are not related to medicine are kind of just me wasting my time. And then I read this book and I go, no, this is me being creative and finding ways to fulfill myself that are not directly tied to my job as a doctor. Because I'll tell you what, I have seen a lot of doctors who put all of their identity into that, and they're kind of sad, pathetic people. Just
Yeah.
honestly, they really are. And I think that's almost anybody who puts it, regardless of what your job is. If all of your identity and your self-worth is locked up in your profession, I
Mm-hmm.
think you're gonna be pretty unhappy, whether you realize it or not. You're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table, and so it's been good to read that and go, no, this is okay. I can keep playing around and experimenting, and I'm learning some new skills. And you know what? Final Cut Pro is a pretty cool video editing app, and I'm sure that there's lots of people who are going to say, "Oh no, DaVinci Resolve or Adobe Premiere," and you know what? Suck it. I'm sure those are fine as well, but it's like for what I'm doing, Final Cut Pro is more than adequate enough, and it's kind of fun learning a new skill and learning how to use a new tool, which I'm really enjoying.
Also, two things I want to add to your conversation here. Number one, I do hate how in modern society, but specifically, I think explicitly American society, the first question you ask someone when you meet them for the first time is what?
Oh, what's your
And
job?
what
What
do
do
you
you
do?
do?
Yeah, what do you do for work?
Yep.
And like, on what planet does that matter? When I'm
Yeah.
not at a if I'm not at a work conference and I'm not asking that question to find out what is your particular job title and location so that we can figure out how and where we could interface with one another. Outside of that, what do I need to know about, like, what does that tell me about you as a person? But that is what we default to because we live in this hyper individualist capitalist society where the focus is on how you're making your money and then
Uh-huh.
not and how you define yourself by how you make that money rather than talking about who am I as a person. And so the job comes to subsume all those other parts of your personhood, and that becomes, like, for many people, I think, the first thing that you are
Yeah. You're
before
not
any
wrong.
of the other things that I think are probably more important. Like, are where who are you in regards to the family around you? What other communities might you belong to that might honestly bring you more joy, happiness, and meaning than your job does? Because the thing is we all talk about our jobs all the time, and most of us don't like our jobs that much. And even if we
It's so
do,
true.
I like my jobs. I like both my jobs. This is the
I
best
mean,
jobs I've
yeah.
ever had in my
I
life.
I love my
And
job too.
still, and still, it's not what I should talk about the first time I'm meeting someone.
Yeah.
But
Totally fair.
that is what's ingrained in us as a society.
It really is. It really is.
My second point, don't learn Adobe Premiere. Fuck Adobe. Don't give Adobe any money.
No,
If you
that's
want to learn Adobe Premiere, you pirate that bitch. Do not give Adobe one red cent because they are criminals who deserve to be driven to the edge of extinction and made bankrupt.
You know,
That's all.
I'm great with that. I'm totally down with that. I don't think that Adobe would have ever been in the question. I know that DaVinci Resolve has gotten a lot more popular, and DaVinci Resolve has a fairly robust version of it that's free. The big thing for me was as faculty at the local university, because I'm adjunct faculty there, I was able to get the Apple education package, which honestly is a kind of incredible deal. It was $199 and it was Final Cut, Motion, Logic, and one or two other things that if you bought them all individually are $199 to $299. But yeah, if you're like you're a student, you're an educator, you're faculty, or and this is how loose Apple is with it. If you're a parent or a family member of someone who's a student or one of those things, they're like, sure, you can totally get it for the education price, which again, 199 bucks for like 5 programs. And it was just like, get them, you own them, no subscriptions, no nothing. I thought that was a pretty fair way to go about it. And so I was like, plus, you know, again, I'm editing on Apple stuff, I'm recording on Apple stuff, and Final Cut because Apple makes it. It works. Just it writes to the metal. It works with especially their newer processors and takes full advantage of that stuff. So I think
For
it's
sure.
I'm having fun learning how to edit video and do stuff in this modern era. But you know, other than that, we still been watching a little bit of Taskmaster when we have chance, just because I think it's a fun show. And no games yet. I keep telling myself I'm going to start playing a game and then I can't decide what to play. But there have been a couple music things that came out in the last couple of weeks that were I think are worth mentioning. The band In Mourning is kind of a melodic death metal band. They released an album called The Immortal. It's great. It's really good. It's the best In Mourning album ever. I think for me, melodic death metal, it was sort of the first type of death metal that I really started to get into because of the more melodic nature of it. And it was kind of a good, how would, you know, I guess I'd just call it, it was a good gateway drug to the death metal world.
Sure.
Um, but a lot of times now, the point I've hit, melodic death metal can be a little toothless if they lean into the melodic side too much. And so I think In Mourning on this album balances it pretty well where it doesn't feel toothless. It still feels like it's got some heft, some grit to it, some bite, but it's a really good album. And the other thing that I'll mention is the single End of You. End of You is a collaboration single between Amy Lee of Evanescence, Poppy, and Courtney LaPlante of Spiritbox. Big fan. You know, I was thinking about this and I'm like, if you were around when Bring Me to Life came out by Evanescence and was in that Daredevil soundtrack and stuff, and you didn't like it, I think you're full of shit.
You're lying if you say you were not like head over heels for Amy Lee after that song came out.
Yeah, I mean everybody was. And I think with decent reason. She's got a great voice and it was an incredibly slick song. And so I love Courtney LaPlante, obviously Spirit Box. I've talked about them here on the podcast before. I think they're a great band. I really like what they do. And I've found Poppy's most recent album, especially that I think she's leaning more into the metal side. I think it's interesting. I like her. I think she's got a interesting. I don't know. There's it's in it's very, as her name would sort of suggest, it's very pop centric music, but there's underlying darkness to it that I think interests me. And so having all three of these together, it's a great song. It was very cool, and I've been excited and enjoying that a lot. But it's about it for me. What about you?
Um, Keeping myself busy. Been reading a fair amount. I finished Azumanga Daioh, which I talked about last time. Still a delight. I did really enjoy it. It's one of those ones that, like, as I finished it, I was like, I understood why it has its place as one of the like seminal slice of life books. It's very
Okay,
good, despite the problems that I mentioned last episode,
sure.
continuing to some degree. You saw a lot less maybe of them, but they did continue. It remained a really good show. Some other things that I have been up to. Oh, here's an interesting thing. You probably, when you're playing physical media, like to watch in your house, what do you play it on? Like if you have a DVD or a Blu-ray, what are you sticking it into?
I'm not anymore. I mean, we literally, because we were hooking up an Apple TV and the Switch too, but still wanted to have the Switch be able to be plugged in, we completely have disconnected and stored our Blu-ray players.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean, that's fair. I don't use them much these days. I use them more than I used to, because I don't know if I mentioned it here, but like someone at the comic shop just donated to us like 6 enormous boxes full of anime DVDs and Blu-rays. Did I talk about that here?
no,
Well, I took home a whole lot of it. I
there you
picked through
go.
and I was like, I picked most everything I thought would be interesting to me. So I've been slowly but surely starting to chip away at some of these things. But these are all on physical media then. And part of me thinks, oh, maybe I should digitize them somehow. But I don't. Of course, my computer doesn't have an optical drive.
No, in
It's
fact, that's funny
2025. Of
because
course, my computer doesn't have an optical drive.
that's like the one thing that I do. I've broken out the USB optical drive more often than I've plugged a Blu-ray or a DVD into an actual dedicated player.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, so the other day I sat down because I wanted to watch The Vision of Escaflone, which is a show I've meant to watch for years. It's a 1990s isekai mech fantasy show. It's basically what if Sailor Moon, what if, Magic Knight Ray Earth, except the girl is not the protagonist. She's like mostly there to be a damsel. It's not as good as Ray Earth. Let's be straight. Like I think Ray Earth is very good, and conceptually, I don't feel like Escaflone is quite as rich. However, it looks
Okay.
great. But I sat down to watch it the other day, and I was like, while I'm watching this, why don't I ride the exercise bike? Two birds, one stone. Get a
Sure.
little bit of a workout in while I'm watching this show. And at this point, when I watch physical media, I almost always watch it on my Xbox Series X because the
Sure.
Blu-ray player on the PS5 is very quiet.
Oh,
Why? I don't know, but it is significantly more quiet than anything else that you would do on your PlayStation. So you would have to crank the volume if you were
huh.
using the PlayStation as a Blu-ray. And this is a known thing. Everyone talks about it. If you talk with anyone about PS5, using PS5 as a Blu-ray player. But I got this Series X right there. It also
Sure.
plays Blu-rays. So I've
Right.
used that primarily for Blu-rays ever since I got the Series X and realized that the PS5 is not great for volume reasons. And it works great for Blu-rays, works great for 4Ks, all those sorts of things. I throw the DVD in there and I start getting some really, really weird jitteriness whenever the picture's moving. And so I was like, is something wrong with the player or is something wrong with the DVD? And I didn't think something would be wrong with the player. I've played dozens of discs in the Xbox before. I didn't think it could possibly be the player.
Right.
But eventually I was like, before I write this whole thing off, and I'm like, maybe it's just, this is an old DVD. This is an old first pressing DVD of Escaflone from like 2003, 2004. Maybe it's just old. It's a DVD, not a Blu-ray. Maybe it's just old. But I'm like, let's try the PS5. So I boot up the PS5. And first of all, it screams at me that I have not turned it on in 6 months. And when I did turn it off, it was not properly shut down beforehand. So at first it screams at me about, you need to shut me down. And then it's like, I need to install 1,000 updates. So I let it install its million updates. And I'm sitting there thinking, I just wanted to ride a bike and watch a show, guys. This is taking 15, 20 minutes before I'm even going to be able to start riding the bike and watching the show. But eventually I get it updated. I throw the disc in there and it works just fine. So it's weird. I'm not sure. I need to test out the Series X with other DVDs, standard def discs,
Sure.
and see if something is wrong with the entire codec that they use for playing standard def, or if it's whatever reason, it doesn't like Escaflone. It's weird. It played perfectly fine on the PS5.
Interesting.
It was real weird.
That
Anyway,
is weird.
Escaflone is cool. I've watched the first couple episodes of that. It's pretty fun. I intend to continue watching it and riding the stationary bike while doing so. Let's see. Also, the Bad Movie Bros convened over Google on Sunday to watch mayhap one of the worst movies I've ever watched in my life. While I was
Okay.
watching it, I thought to myself, should I make Peter do this? And it
Oh
was
boy.
so dire. It was so dire that I knew I couldn't do this to you. And the only reason I was able
Wow.
to survive how bad this film was because I was watching it in a Google Hangout call with 5 other people. So we were constantly clowning on this sucker. And I also built about half of the Cubely model while doing it. So I was not paying attention and making jokes and japes with my friends while watching the 2025 War of the Worlds starring Ice Cube.
Oh my gosh. I listened to the Flophouse episode about this, and it just,
Do they already have a
wow.
Flophouse out for it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was amazing.
I haven't been a Flophouse listener for years, but I might just have to go resubscribe to listen to this thing.
You know what I'll say about the Flophouse briefly is it's one of those, I am sort of a podcast completionist for most podcasts, but Flophouse is definitely one where I will take a peek, and if it's a movie that I don't know anything about and I'm not interested, I have no problem deleting it and moving on. But it's one of
That's
those,
fair.
I keep subscribed because I'll open it, every 2 weeks. I don't ever really listen to the minis, but I open it every 2 weeks and I look at it and I go, is this a movie I want to hear them talk about? And yeah, I think actually War of the Worlds was the last one I listened to.
Well, I'm sure they had a lot to say about how bad that movie was. And dear listeners, you can go listen to their podcast for a more in-depth discussion about how bad that movie was. But just let me tell you, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen some bad movies, folks. I know from bad movies. But this one really was just abysmal. For those of you who might not know anything about this film, you should go watch the trailer at the very least so that you can know what you're getting into with this film. But they made this movie. This is a studio production released by Universal Pictures, again starring Ice Cube. Ice Cube, F the police, Ice Cube.
Uh-huh.
And he is playing a guy who works for the NSA as like one of the top level hackers and intelligence agents. And what that means is that the entirety of this movie is shot from the computer screen that he's using.
Yep.
And so it is constantly him on webcam because he has his webcam open even when he's not in a call, I guess, which that's a choice, Ice, but it's not the choice I would make, bud. And he is stalking his children while he's at work, using government assets to stalk his children. He is berating his soon-to-be son-in-law because he's a good, useless, good, do-nothing Amazon delivery driver, which plays a prominent plot point later in the film that his soon-to-be son-in-law is, in fact, an Amazon delivery driver. Because there's, oh my God, it's so fucking bad. The aliens show up, they start wrecking things. In this take on War of the Worlds, the aliens are there because they feed on data. So they're going to all of the data centers and gobbling up everyone's data, and which of course deletes it. So I'm watching this and I'm like, send them in. Let's go. Let the aliens eat all my data. Let's go back to the Stone Age. I'm ready. I'm ready for Stone Age life again. I don't want to be here anymore. But anyway, they're eating all the data. And at one point, they figure out a virus that they can feed the data. Don't worry about it. It's stupid. And of course, this whole movie is then real time because it's all just from his computer screen, basically. So the whole thing takes place over the course of 90 minutes or whatever. And shenanigans ensue. The whole world basically gets fucked up by these tripods. But they figure out that they can put a Trojan horse program in the government's surveillance thing, because it's the government's surveillance program that the government turned on that causes the aliens to be like, ooh, yummy data, and come attack the Earth. So they decide.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Okay,
so
sorry, keep
stupid.
going.
It's so stupid, Peter. Here's the thing. You should watch it, but make sure you have a large group of people to clown on it with. Do not watch it alone. It's so bad, but
I
it's
mean,
worth watching with other people and making fun of it. Put it
I'll
on while you've got people in the house, have a bunch of food, have a puzzle out on the coffee table, and make fun of it. That's great. Don't try to pay attention to it.
or or I'm like loaded in VLC and just like crank the speed up.
I mean, if you really want to see what's happening, put it to three times speed and see what happens. Watch that
Right?
90-minute movie in 30 and it'll be a delight. So anyway, this is again, crucial plot point. He needs to get a USB drive. And of course he doesn't care. Who carries a USB drive anymore? To which he's on a video call with his daughter and her baby daddy, who is her fiance, Amazon truck driver, who is with the daughter because she got injured and he was directed to her by the dad or whatever. It's stupid. So he has to order on Amazon a USB drive so that his son-in-law can use the Amazon drones that can only be turned on once an order needs to be delivered. So he has to order the USB drive from Amazon. So then his son-in-law turns on the drones so you can see some of the worst special effects you've ever seen in your life as they fly this drone past these tripods. It's truly like the Asylum level bad special effects. It's some of the worst special effects I've ever seen in a movie altogether, much less a studio released Universal picture. But yeah, so the heroic Amazon delivery driver saves the day by driving his drone so well. That's the sort of film we're talking about here.
I
Like
love it.
just literally slobbering all over Amazon. And you're like, of course this is an Amazon original. Did they not expect everyone to clown on this? Because they have. I think it's like a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. And honestly, I'm shocked it's above a 0.
I mean, here's the fun thing is so I went to look at IMDb. And on IMDb, it has 2.5 stars
Seems high.
because there are some 10-star reviews. I'd like to read briefly a few of these. Modern art. I have never seen a movie this entertaining in my life. The director systematically understands how nothing works, which just isn't possible. You know how they say it's impossible to get every answer wrong on a test unless you know all the answers? Yeah, that's this movie. Zoom and enhance the movie. 10 out of 10.
It's
Here we go. Academy, or we take it to the streets. Most underrated movie this year. Don't listen to the hater. This movie will take you on an adventure. You will cry, you will laugh. Most importantly, you will learn to love again. Phenomenal performance of the year by Cube. He will pull at your heartstrings the way he deals with his children. The CGI will make you feel as if you're watching something from the future. The cast is unbelievable and works so well with each other. They have a chemistry that can only be built over time. You will go on a journey with each other. I would say Cube's performance reminds me of Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. It's the kind of role you can tell Cube pooped his heart into. They said pooped. I cannot wait to see what kind of adventure we take in part 2.
It was truly abysmal.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where as you're watching it, you're thinking, wow, I sure hope they wrote you a big check, Eva Longoria, because what are you doing here? It's bad. It's real bad. But it was a delight to watch with my friends. I'll tell you that much.
There you go.
And
there
I got the left arm and one of the legs of the Cubely built during the happenings of the film. So it worked out great. I don't know if there's anything else to mention. I've been reading books. I could talk about Yuri Tama another time because I need to read another book of it. But let's just say I'll briefly mention Yuri Tama. Yuri Tama from Third Wheel to Trifecta is the subtitle of this book. It's a very stupid book. Where basically the premise is there are these two girls in high school who are the most accomplished, beautiful, smartest girls in the whole high school. They've been friends since like kindergarten, and everyone in their high school ships them together. Everyone in the high school calls this couple of girls the sacrosanct and has like real life shipping, fics that they write about how these two girls are in love with each other. And no one's friends with them because they all just see them as these untouchable icons, these that they are not humans, but that they are archetypes of human rather than living, breathing flesh beings. But then there is this girl who's the main character, who's a dummy. She accidentally gets into the school that it's like a high performing only girls only school. She gets in by taking her pencil on the entrance exam, spinning it, and whatever side of the pencil is facing up, she would mark that bubble.
Okay.
And somehow that was enough for her to get a good enough grade to go to the school that she's patently unqualified for. So she's a goober. But regardless, she meets these two girls on the first day of school and starts talking to them because she doesn't have any history with them. She didn't go to junior high with them. She's like a normal person. And so suddenly she becomes friends with both of them, and everyone is kind of annoyed that she is interrupting the sacrosanct as they all watch from afar as these two girls rule. But then this new goofy girl is there. And then one day she has plans with each of them separately. She's going to study with one of them and then go out for like, dinner with the other one, just like as friends or whatever. She goes to study with the one girl, and the one girl confesses her love and kisses her. And so she's like, okay, I'll date you. And then she goes out to dinner with the other one. She confesses her love and kisses her. And so she goes, okay, I'll date you too. And so suddenly she gets home and she's like, oh no, I told the two most beautiful girls in the world that I would date them and that I'm dating both of them now. What am I going to do? I guess I have to two-time them. And so she spends the rest of the book trying to figure out how to maintain these two relationships without the other one figuring out about it. The head of the school, fan club of these two girls kidnaps her and tries to figure out, what are you doing? Why are they not in the same, why are they acting weird to each other in public? And it's because they're both in love and dating this other girl. Anyway, they figure it all out. She eventually is like, I have to come clean. So she takes them to an amusement park, the three of them. They have fun. They get on the Ferris wheel. And on the Ferris wheel, she finally confesses to the both of them. I'm so sorry. You both confessed, and I said yes to both of you. So for the past few weeks, I've been dating both of you. And they both just look at her, and they're like, yeah, we knew. We both knew we were going to do it. And so we both expected one of us to go first and you to accept the one and the other person to get turned down. But then you accepted us both. And we're like, okay, I guess this is how it's going now. And so the book ends with her dating both of them. And there's 3 other books in the series, so I don't know where it goes from here. Wow. But we'll see. It was a roller coaster. And not just because there was a Ferris wheel at the end, not an amusement park. But we'll see. I'm excited to read more. Anyway, I think it's time to move on to our main event for today, which is going to be real stupid, dear listeners.
I'm excited. I don't really know what's coming. Eden is helping me out in the midst of my extremely busy and stressful week, so it's a surprise for all parties involved except for them.
And basically, I wanted to do something that required no effort and would be stupid. And so that is what we have here. I have a series of would you rather lists, and we're just going to go and pick some good ones. And if they suck, then we'll move to a different list. And if they're good, then we'll keep going down that list. And we're just going to talk about some would you rather scenarios as a joke, especially because the first one I found is from a website, which I bet is just the best website in the world, called Mantelligence.
Oh, yeah.
I have never heard of this website. I bet it sucks. I bet it's the worst place in the world.
I'm excited. I want to test
we'll see how bad it
is.
Let's just say their top editor's pick is Riz, meaning context, usage, and why Gen Z is obsessed. I'm sorry. If you need to read an article with an AI-generated image called Riz meaning to figure out what Riz is, it's not for you. You don't get to know.
True. It's true.
You don't get to know. Also, it's the most straightforward. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, even I, the nearly 50-year-old man, heard Riz and in the context went, okay, I see where that came from. I got you.
It's in fact the most straightforward possible piece of slang.
Yes.
It's just the middle of the word charisma. We all know what this means. Anyway. All right. Here we're going to do some would you rathers, especially part of the reason I picked this one. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say, I think that instead of Riz, they should have chosen the last part of the word and gone with sma. because I like to
Yeah.
tell somebody you've got real sma because that sounds gross.
You're smarting her up. You
You're
can't do it. That's the
sma,
problem.
you're
You can't turn it
smarring
into a
up,
gerund very easily. Riz
smarring
is an
her up.
easy
It's
gerund.
true.
Risen her up. But
You could just go with
smarting her up.
sming. You could
Ugh.
sming. You're sminging her up.
Sminging her.
Sming.
I hate this. That sounds like a slur. That sounds like you're saying a slur. I don't care for it. All right.
I didn't think before I said anything just now, so let's go for it.
It's all good. We're just spitballing here. We have some contents here, like the best conversation starters. Here's the one I'm most excited to get to. There's a series of them called For a Girl. So these are the ones that you would ask a girl who you're trying to riz up. So I'm excited to get to those and see what the would you rathers about a girl would be.
Yeah.
I've not looked past the contents to see how bad these are.
Okay.
But let's see. Some of these are stupid questions. Would you rather have to wear formal attire or pajamas all day, every day? That's not a question. Anyone who picks formal attire is a psychopath.
Or full of shit.
Yeah, or a liar. Like, no one wants to wear a tux every day. You're picking pajamas, even if you feel underdressed. Give me a break. And I understand. I live in the Midwest. Everyone's underdressed literally at all times here. I go to events where people should be dressing up, and you see people in cargo shorts. And I think to myself, Iowa, put some clothes on.
I go to a job, a professional job, where every day the first thing I do when I get into my office is change into a pair of what are essentially pajamas.
That's true. To be fair, though, I do work in a job that's fairly low key when it comes to dress code, which I am grateful for, because apparently the tyrant who used to run the department that I'm in up until like 2020 or whatever would not let you wear sneakers to work.
What?
To work at a cubicle in IT at a university, you can't wear sneakers? Excuse me. No, I am only wearing sneakers. Yeah. I pull out the non-sneakers when I'm going to a conference. And other than that, it's oops, all sneakers o'clock. Don't worry about the times I sometimes wear Crocs. It's not a big deal. It's no big deal. Anyway, that's a stupid one.
Yeah. All right, let's get some more.
Here's a good one. I think I know the answer to this one because I have one that it feels like the definitive correct answer to me. Would you rather be too hot or too cold all the time?
I would rather be too cold.
You can always put on more clothes. This is what I say every time people ask me, do you prefer it hot or cold? I can always put more layers on. I can only take so many off before I get in trouble.
Or, I mean, you get down to the skin suit and there's nothing left.
This is what I'm saying. That's the in trouble part.
Yep, 100%. Nope, too cold for sure.
Oh, here's a good one because I don't know that I have a good answer for this one. Would you rather have a freakishly huge smile or a freakishly small nose?
Oh.
I don't, those both suck. That's a good, my favorite kind of would you rather are when you're like, both of these are nightmare scenarios to me.
I think I'd rather have the small nose.
See, I was going to say big mouth.
Okay.
Why small nose? Why small nose? My glasses would fall off if I had a very small nose.
I don't wear my glasses except I have a pair of like reading/computer glasses on right now that I could do just fine without. I don't know. I feel like, so I have a bit of a complex about my mouth. Growing up was always told that I was made fun of back in the day for having, as we would now refer to them as, full lips.
Yeah, we both do.
And so I was always a little self-conscious of that. And now as I have gotten older, I jokingly say that I must have had a stroke at some point in the past because my smile is slightly uneven. And so I look at that and I go, big lips, slightly uneven smile, and now you want to exaggerate all that? I'll take the itty bitty nose. Thank you very much.
That makes sense. I think I'm taking a big mouth though, just because I don't want a very small nose. Because I do wear glasses. That's all I've ever worn. I have not worn contacts since the day I got married. Maybe our wedding reception. I think that was the last time I wore it was our wedding receptions. So that's been almost 15 years now since I've worn contacts. So I'm a glasses kid. That's what happens when you were a contacts kid, and then the girl you're dating's like, I think you look cute in glasses. And then you go, I'll never wear contacts again.
There you go. That's what happens.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right. Here's a good one for you.
Okay.
Would you rather have to announce to everyone around you whenever you have to fart, or would you rather have to pee your pants every day?
Oh, I'll announce when I'm going to fart. Hands down.
I'll absolutely announce when I'm going to fart. I don't want to piss my pants.
I mean, it's not quite the same, I guess, in public, but I'd still be more comfortable in public announcing when I had to fart rather than pissing my pants. But it's like, we have a rule at home that it's like, you can fart as long as you own it. So we'll just rip it at home and be like, that was me. That was me. I was with a group of men helping move somebody the other day, and I ripped a real juicy one in a garage, and it was potent, and somebody asked who ripped ass, and I was just like, that was me. I'm just going to own that one.
Yeah. That's,
I'm owning my farts. I'm announcing it rather than just pissing in my pants.
Yeah. There's a lot of these where there's a clear objective right answer. Like announcing a fart is so much better than pissing your pants. There's another one here that says, would you rather fart really loud or poop your pants silently? Fart every time. I don't want to shit my pants.
Hey, guess what? I've shit my pants multiple times in my life.
I don't want to do it again.
I don't want to either. It's not a medical condition, people. It was called living in a third world country with amoebas and that sort of stuff. Anyway.
To be fair, the last time I did it when I was a kid, but it scarred me for life.
Oh, no. So I have this classic story that anybody who knows me at work for more than a few minutes will hear, and it involves me being violently ill my chief year of residency and barely making it out to the scrub sink before I started violently vomiting in it. And then because of the vomit, I was just like shitting my pants. So that's my last time.
Fun times. Fun times for everyone. My last time was when we were at Uncle Ken and Aunt Lisa's house.
Okay.
And it was when, do you remember when for some reason they lived in like a family member's place for a little bit and it had like a really big hill in the back?
I remember the hill in the back.
Well, we were out there like hanging, like everyone, all the cousins were out there playing, and I needed to poop, but I didn't want to go inside, and the house was really far away. Oops, we all know what happened. I was 8 or 7 or whatever. So then I had to go inside and tell mom and dad that I had done that. It was the most embarrassing thing. It was not good.
Oh, gosh. No, I've done it much more recently than that in my life. So,
Well, there you go. All right, we are moving on to funny things would you rather questions to ask a girl. I don't know that we will answer any of these because they're dreadful. But we're going to.
I might try. I'm going to try.
All right. Then the first one is, would you rather eat the same meal for the rest of your life or never use Instagram again? Those two things don't feel equivalent to me. As a person who already doesn't use Instagram, those don't feel equivalent.
No. I mean, as okay as I would probably be eating the same meal, I'd still probably rather eat variety of meals and just say, forget Instagram.
That is eating the same meal every day is my nightmare. You could say, would you rather eat the same meal for the rest of your life or lose your left arm? And I'd be like, chop it, baby. I'm not eating the same food for the rest of my life. You take that arm away from me. Fuck it.
Yeah, no. Take social media away. Insta's gone. Yeah. I'm fine with that.
You don't even need to tell me I have to eat the same food for the rest of my life in a threatening manner. You should probably just take all social media away from me, for goodness sake. Especially the last 2 days. I have had to be buttoned up on social media, dear listeners. After seeing so many people get fired because of the happenings, buttoned up. I was in a friend's Discord and I made like a little emoji that I just started tagging things in the Discord because I saw it somewhere else that was, don't say anything to get this Discord subpoenaed. And I just kept posting that on things. And then people would quietly delete things they had said when I was like, don't you say something to get this Discord subpoenaed. Come on. This is not as private as you think it is.
That's a good way to think of it.
And now I have that set as an emoji in that Discord, so I can use it whenever I need to.
Perfect.
All right. Here's the next one that I'm really curious to see what you would have to say, Peter.
Okay.
Would you rather wear a push-up bra all day long every day or stiletto heels all day long every day?
Oh, boy. I don't think I could balance on the stiletto heels, so I guess my moves are getting pushed up.
I don't know that I could either. This one I don't want an answer to, but it is definitely like this is what you say after you've asked a few of these and you're trying to move things a little more towards the bedroom. Would you rather make love with the lights off or the lights on? Excuse? That's not a good would you rather. That's a boring would you rather. That's a sexy would you rather. That's boring.
That's a dumb one.
Would you rather give up shopping for 6 months or give up emoji for 6 months?
Oh my gosh. I think I'll give
Goodbye forever shopping. No kidding. Emoji. These are terrible. Would you rather give up your computer or your pet? Neither. Go fuck yourself, Mantelligence. Oh, here's a good one. Would you rather have a cookies or French fries, Peter?
I'd probably rather have French fries. I generally like savory more than sweet.
Me too. And this French fry, like, I like potatoes. Potatoes, maybe the greatest starch in terms of any way you prepare them. I'm pretty happy with it.
Versatility, but just absolute versatility.
The French fry may be the best way to prepare the potato.
Yeah.
It's very good. Again, so many of these are dumb.
Okay.
Would you rather give up alcohol for a year or your smartphone for a month? Alcohol for a year.
I've got some for you. I went into
Please.
Now this is an experiment. This is unfiltered. This is from Anthropic's Claude. I said,
make me a list. Go fuck yourself.
Make me a list of humorous would you rather questions. I'm trying.
Okay,
I thought I'd see what Claude came up with. So here we go.
Claude is my mortal enemy. So let me hear what my mortal enemy has to say.
Would you rather have to announce everything you're doing in a dramatic movie trailer voice, or only be able to whisper for the rest of your life?
I already announce everything I'm doing in a dramatic movie trailer voice.
I mean,
half the time when I'm cooking in the kitchen, I'm like, esta noche en Telemundo voy a hacer esta comida. Like,
I'm just imagining it. I don't know how different it would be if I was at work, because I always have somebody following me around. So I just have to be like, I must go take a piss. I shall be back.
There you go.
That just feels like my daily life.
I'm going to use the bathroom.
It is time to defecate.
You know?
Okay, here we go.
I'm for it. Let's see another one.
Would you rather have fingers as long as legs or legs as short as fingers?
Okay. Okay, you got me. That's a good one. That's a real good one. I'm imagining both, and they're both nightmare scenarios.
Yes,
I'm
they
not
are.
Gonna lie. I think it's leg fingers.
That's what I think too. I want to just like
fingers.
A normal sized torso, itty bitty teeny little legs, but you can actually do stuff. If you had fingers as long as legs, you would be so, yeah. Okay, here we go.
Well, that's a rough one.
Okay. Would you rather sweat maple syrup or have your tears taste like hot sauce?
I guess the tears, because I sweat more than I cry.
That's the same thing I'm thinking.
Want to have sticky sweat.
And like
sweat's sticky enough on its own.
And can you imagine the bugs you would attract?
Yeah, it'd be
You'd
real
just be
brutal.
covered. You'd be covered in bugs. All right, this is in the embarrassing superpowers category it gave us. Would you rather be able to fly, but only while screaming at the top of your lungs, or be invisible, but only when you sneeze? I'm flying, man. Come on.
Flying.
If I can fly and all I got to do is just scream, I am soaring through the air the whole time. Are you kidding me?
I mean, you'd be doing that regardless.
If I could fly, everyone would know about it.
Yeah, you're screaming regardless because you're flying. So
hell yeah.
I don't sneeze often enough for that. That invisibility is not long lasting enough to be of any use.
Exactly. Okay. Would you rather have the ability to read minds, but only when people are thinking about sandwiches? Or be able to time travel, but only to awkward moments from your past?
Well, I don't want to go revisit the awkward moments of my past, so I guess I'm hearing a lot of sandwich thoughts.
I mean, you'd be able to know what people really feel about sandwiches.
The thing is, I already mostly know what people think about sandwiches, and that is, yay, sandwiches.
That's exactly right. Okay, final one in the embarrassing superpowers. Would you rather have super strength, but only in your pinky fingers, or super speed, but only while moving backwards?
I get really good at running backwards.
Yeah. I think it'd be a blast to have the strength in the pinky finger.
You
Just to
know,
be
I
kind of
could see.
unassuming, and then all of a sudden you whip out your pinky and you're like, take that, sucker.
You're like those dudes who get really good at punching where they like move like one hand width away and then they can still like bust through things, except you're doing it with just your pinky pink.
Yep. Yep. Okay, we
Okay.
got some
I
food
can catch the vision.
fiascos. We got
Let's
some
hit me.
food fiascos. Would you rather have pizza hands or donut feet?
Donut feet, because I could cover them up and not deal with it. I would need my hands to still be usable.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Would you? Oh, here's a good food one for you. Would you rather only be able to eat foods that start with the last letter of your most recent word you spoke, or have every meal taste like your least favorite vegetable? I'm totally going with the first one. At
I'm
least you
going
get
with
some
whatever
variety.
food. Yeah, I'm going with what. I mean, we already talked about how I want to have decent food. So, yeah.
All right, last food fiasco one, and I already know my answer. There's a definitively right answer here, I think. Would you
Okay.
rather burp glitter or hiccup bubbles?
Hiccup bubbles.
Oh no,
That's
burp and
fun.
glitter, man. Burp and glitter. Can you imagine? Because I'm very skilled at the belching. I'm good.
Yeah,
I
this is
have
true. I know this about you.
real resonant, solid burps. And just imagine every time I just do one of those, just like just this spume of glitter just going into the air. I love that. That makes me happy.
Fair.
I could go dance to the Pink Pony Club and I could burp and everybody would be happy. But again, if you got the hiccups, see, I think the thing is I enjoy burping and I hate hiccups.
Yeah, well, see, I'm thinking which is less disruptive of my life, and I hiccup far less often. I don't even burp that often, but I
Oh, I
hiccup
burp all
less
the
often than
time.
I burp. I'm not a big burper.
Yeah. All right. Couple more here. Oh, yes, you got something.
Okay, I do have a couple other ones when you're done. I found a very good one on Parade's list.
Okay, I've got three social nightmares is the category it gave us.
Okay.
Would you rather accidentally send every text to your mom or have every lie you tell be announced by a tiny marching band that follows you around?
I mean, I'm blowing up mom's phone. Sorry to her, but I'm not sending anything sensitive in my texts. Sorry about your phone,
either.
mom. I'm blowing it up.
I'm just like, mom's going to get a whole bunch of texts that she's like, oh, what?
You find out how many times a day I send to my wife, hey, I love you. Good luck for you. You get to hear me say, what time are you done with that bookmobile shop? When are you going to be home? Because I can't remember your schedule.
All right, so here's a better version of the formal/pajama question that your list had.
Okay.
Would you rather have to wear a tuxedo to bed every night or pajamas to every formal event?
Well, I don't go to formal events, but I don't want to wear pajamas to a formal event. So I don't know. That's a good one.
See, I will take the comfort while I sleep over pajamas at the formal event every single time. I'm wearing pajamas. And everybody else is in tux, and I got a pair of black basketball shorts and a ratty old scrub top, baby.
Brother, you might have grown up in Utah, lived on the East Coast for a while, and lived in Idaho for a long time now. That's Iowa core, baby. That's some corn sweat life right there. Hashtag corn sweat life.
All right, last one. Would you rather have a laugh that sounds like a car alarm or a sneeze that sounds like a foghorn?
I think foghorn sneeze. My sneezes are already really loud and funny. Make them funnier.
Me too. Foghorn sneeze sounds great.
Although a car alarm laugh would be great for pranks.
Yes, it would. That's true.
That could
Good
be
point.
fun.
All right, let's hear what you got.
Here's a good one for you. Who would you rather have play you in a biopic? Danny DeVito or Danny Trejo?
Oh, I want Danny Trejo.
See, I think I'm going DeVito. So we can both be in each other's biopics that way.
I mean, I was totally thinking DeVito, and then you said Danny Trejo, and I was just imagining Danny Trejo being a urologist and like doing somebody's prostate exam. And I think that's an image that's now seared into my brain.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Machete 3, Machete the urologist. Let's make it happen.
Right.
Come on, Robert Rodriguez. Make it happen.
Totally.
Here's another good one. Would you rather have skin that changes color based on your mood, or tattoos appear all over your body depicting what you did yesterday?
Oh, my skin's changing color. Because the tattoos would be so boring. My
Yeah,
tattoos would be so
they would.
boring. I mean, at
They would.
least, and honestly, while my mood changes, I'm a fairly, and I say this and somebody's going to, who knows me is going to call me on this. I'm a fairly mood stable person. While I have my ups and downs, they don't tend to fluctuate rapidly. So it's like I'd just be one color for quite a few days and then it would gradually ease in another direction and that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
That's very, very fair. Here's kind of a philosophical one.
Okay.
Um, would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets or live to 100 with a lot of regrets?
Oh, that one's easy.
I'd rather
for
die.
me.
I'd rather die tomorrow with no regrets than live to 100 with a ton of regrets. Are you kidding me?
100%. I'll take the 20 years because I do want to see, my kids grow up and start having kids of their own. So
I mean, yeah, I want to. I'll take 20 years too. But I'm just saying, if the question was die tomorrow with no regrets or live to 100 with nothing but regrets, I'm like, goodbye. I'm out tomorrow.
yeah, I would. Yep, 100%. I would still. Here's the thing. I have realized, and a lot of this is the job I'm in. People have an unhealthy fear of death.
Yeah.
And I often think that the amount of death I have been exposed to over my career has made me less fearful of it. And so I think
Fair.
that's where I look at that and I say, I mean, I've already told everybody, my wife knows, and I'll make sure I have advanced directives and all that good stuff. But like once I get to like 70, 75, I just like I joke about wanting to be what I call a DNH, do not hospitalize. If something happens to me,
Yeah.
just let me go.
Yeah.
Don't string me along.
I agree with you. I I understand the impulse of like people wanting to live longer and being scared of death, but I just don't feel it. Like,
Yeah.
especially if once I get older, if my body starts working less well, like it starts doing what happens to all of us and starts to deteriorate, I don't want to live through decades and decades of that.
And I worry more about what happens when/if my mind starts to go.
Me too.
That's where I
Me
really,
too.
really don't want to be around for that. Please, no.
No, me neither. Well, to not end on a bummer, I have one final one for us.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay.
It was
I was gonna say
introspective.
that was a good final one to end on if we want to end philosophically, but it's a little heavy.
No, I got a funny one for us.
Okay.
Would you rather end every phone call with "I love you" or accidentally call your partner the wrong name during a fight? I'm saying "I love you" to every
Oh,
single phone call.
I guess I am too.
I'm saying "I love you" to every single phone call. Come on, that's no big deal.
I mean, that could be a little uncomfortable at work, but that's okay.
For me too, but I'll do it. I'm fine with it. That just
Yeah,
becomes, you do it enough at work, it just becomes your gimmick. Everyone's
it's
just
true.
like, oh, that
That's
Dr.
your
Jones,
thing.
he's always telling everyone he loves them.
That's true.
That's your gimmick. Anyway,
Oh, those were funny. I appreciated that. That was a good laugh.
I hope this was fun, dear listeners. I just saw an absolutely cursed one to which there is no good answer. Would you rather have a South Park themed wedding or a Family Guy themed funeral? And that is the most cursed thing in the world. I will leave that question to you, dear listeners. Think about it. South Park wedding, Family Guy funeral. No matter who wins, we lose.
That's true. That's true.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new episode. Peter's kid will have gotten married by then. So
It's true.
what is
I'll
time?
I'll have some brain cells to spare.
You're going to have a kid-in-law. What?
I know.
Ugh.
It's weird.
What is
It's
time?
weird.
Anyway, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And if you want to leave us a review, leave us a review. If you want to leave us star ratings, leave us a star rating. If you have any questions, feedback at themiddleofculture.com. Write us a message. You tell us which you would have, a South Park wedding or Family Guy funeral. And until then, we'll see you later.
Bye.